right now for as low as $153 weekly. You can get into the Chrysler Grand Caravan and then the Ram 3500 2024 model. You can save up to $11,000. Worth the drive every time, guaranteed. Southie Mainline Chrysler. Commish, first off, wore that hat last week. Got a compliment on it. What's UPL on the side? Everyone's asked me that.
Okay, the SJHL playoffs are sponsored by UPL, and UPL is one of our ag partners. They sell a lot of fertilizer and chemical for farmers in Saskatchewan and the prairie provinces, and we're very happy to have UPL. And so these hats, not only are they for the director of marketing and the commissioner and a select few friends, we do give this to the UPL performer of the night in each of our playoff games. And when we do our overtime challenge, the fan who predicts correctly and first off the correct overtime score also gets one of these hats from UPL.
You got to play along on social media with that one?
Yep, that's on X primarily, and so we usually, if something goes into overtime, we'll put up some graphics beforehand, and had a pretty good response. And we've handed out hats all over the province. I think we've had 6 overtime games since the playoffs have started.
They are a sharp lid. Well done. Commissioner of the SJHL, Kyle McIntyre, is joining us for the SJHL Report. Second question: what's in those binders behind you?
Oh boy! So being a commissioner is not as glorious as it looks. You're also responsible for, believe it or not, accounts payable and payroll and invoicing and whatnot, and so a lot of those are financial records of either pay coming or money coming in and money going out. Awesome.
Okay, quick update. We are 56 seconds in to the Regina Pat Canadians and Moncton. Ryan Ulmer scores 1-0. Pat sees already on Moncton. Commish, the league championship series. We got Weyburn, we got Melfort tied 1-1. First off, Weyburn, they're a dark horse. They had to grind through. You had North Battleford there as well. What Cody Mapes, what he's doing there with that team, what are your comments? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Cody has done a good job. He gets better as a coach every single year. This year, though, he had a real lot of riches in goal. He had both Daz and Mitchell at one point, and Angela Zoll. And Angela Zoll and Daz are both outstanding goalies, but Angelo's a little bit younger, so he has been carrying the mail this year. He's been outstanding. Max Chakrabarty, a defenseman out of the KIJHL from Vancouver originally, he has been absolutely outstanding. He led the regular season in points for a defenseman with 48. And then Cody got some players back that he had last year who learned that the grass is not always greener in BC. So Ethan DK and Jerome Maharaj and a guy named Rutvig, they are probably the fastest line in the league. So Weyburn has a lot of speed. Even their second and third line, they're quite quick. Like Lucas Smith, he's a real fast player. Legranger is a fast player. They got a lot of team speed. And probably this year, I think I told you maybe through text that when I was up in Flin Flon a couple weeks ago and Weyburn was able to steal those first 2 games, I've never seen a faster SJHL game. Their North-South game is absolutely outstanding. And so they're using a lot of that speed against Melfort right now. Melfort, of course, they got a championship pedigree. They got 13 players back from last year. They also have some high-flying offensive players, got a real strong backhand, strong goaltending. But when Weyburn played North-South on Saturday, they kind of took it to them. All 3 goals are breakaway goals. And so all would generate with speed. Zayden Saddlemeyer started off for Melfort. He had a turnover in neutral ice, blasted in and scored. And then Maharaj got a breakaway and he scored, killing a penalty, a shorty. And then he set up the winning goal to Ethan DK that took off with all kinds of speed and really made a move to go 5-hole on a dime, just unbelievable. But Melfort got into a little bit of penalty trouble on Sunday. I think they got to stay out of the box. And in spite of what people may think that cheer for Weyburn, most of those penalties were legit and some of them were quite selfish. So I think if Weyburn plays hockey, this is anyone's series.
That kind of leads into my first question, Kyle, is Is the matchup closer than the point differential in the standings would dictate, or is it kind of like a David versus Goliath situation here?
No, you know what? I wouldn't say that the standings are indicative of how things went. Like Melfort this year has played with a real chip on their shoulder. They go into the Centennial Cup last year. They lose 1-0 on a high tip. They have all kinds of posts and crossbars. So they've really started this season on a bit of a mission. They have something to prove, Harry. They want to win. They got lots of guys that are back. A lot of them are key guys back. They got a strong defense. They got a couple guys from the Western League, and Nick Andrusiak, defenseman of the year. He's been playing super well. And Ty Thornton is a great D-man, plays both ways. So they got a real good team, and they got a chip on their shoulder. And so they really took off where they left off the previous year. And so they really put a lot of wins together, whereas Weyburn and Flin Flon and Yorkton and Humboldt, some of those guys were assembling new teams, and it took a while to get them rolling. But probably the key piece is probably in late November when Cody got back DK and Maharaj, and those guys have just got better and better and better, and their chemistry and the way they move the puck is just unbelievable. Jerome Maharaj is going to University of Toronto next year, and he has got a hockey IQ that is off the charts, and he can just absolutely fly. He's super dynamic and fun to watch, but he is the straw that stirs the drink out there. He's the guy who sets guys up with his speed and with his hockey IQ, and I would say that the point standings in the regular season are not indicative about how close these teams are. Melfort is a team that has 4 lines. Everyone's strong. Everyone goes out there and contributes. Everyone works and competes. They bang. They chase pucks. They're aggressive. They got a good back end. Whereas Weyburn is, they probably got a lot more team speed and maybe some skill. But the thing you'll notice about their defensemen, so other than Max Chakrabarty, there's not a lot of guys that would really win a popularity or a beauty contest in terms of their play with Weyburn, but they are committed. Josh Carman, a guy they got from North Battleford earlier in the year, on one penalty kill on Saturday night, he probably blocked 6 shots. And so there's that type of commitment. Guys are laying in front of shots. Teams are attempting a lot of shots, but both teams are blocking a lot of rubber. And so it's super fast between the neutral zones. Down low, it's a little more aggressive and physical. And in front of the net, everyone's fighting for space. And guys are laying their bodies on the line and are blocking shots. Both teams want to win this very badly.
You're selling it. I might drive to Weyburn tomorrow.
Well, you should. You should bring your OV bunny hug there and hop in the car and drive an hour to Weyburn.
And just get after the KFC buffet. Let's be honest. Coming back from Vegas, that's all I need. The league's going for the championship series to instant replay.
Yep.
How did that come about?
Well, as people would know, not only do we have our playoffs on Flow Hockey, we also have a strong partnership with SaskTel and Bamboo Shoots. And so the guys from Bamboo Shoots, probably once upon a time, they worked for Sportsnet and TSN. They got a great big production truck. We have a 6-camera setup, and that game is on SaskTel Max. And so, a Rusty Cohn is in the video truck. We have referees, both Daryl Cameron and Chad Marshall from the WHL that work with the SJHL. They're in the truck watching all the videos. And so at our AGM last year, we decided, you know what? We don't want to use video to embarrass our officials. We want them to assist and support our officials. And in the league championship game, winning means so much to an SJHL team in terms of attendance, in terms of some of the spin-off stuff that occurs. So we really want to make sure we get it right. And so primarily the review is going to be 4 goals. Every single goal is going to be reviewed. So whether it's a high stick or it's off the protective mesh around the ice, or it goes in off an official, or it's maybe offside, or maybe a glove pass, every single goal is reviewed in time by the officials that are in our truck. They're communicating to the officials on the ice and the timekeepers in the bench. And additionally, each coach has one challenge that they can use throughout the game, where if they think a play was offside that led to a goal, that will be reviewed. And if it's yay or it's nay, if it's nay, then the time goes back onto the clock at the time of the offside. And so we're using the technology because we have it. We have the expertise of both Daryl and Chad watching the game, and Rusty is our producer. And so we want to make sure that we're getting it right. And so the other night we had a shot in tight, hit the crossbar, came right out. all these fans are saying, "Oh, that was a goal! That was a goal!" They're coming up to me when I'm at the game, "Commissioner, that's a goal! That's a goal! You should review it." And so I said, "No, it's already been reviewed." "Well, how do you know that?" I said, "Because we got a production truck outside, we got 6 cameras, we have an official that's watching the entire game and is replaying plays while we're playing on the ice."
So obviously this can't be a cheap endeavor. Is there any interest or ability to expand it in further years? So maybe the semifinals or the entire playoffs, or is that too big picture?
Yeah, well, if Harry and Barney sponsor it, we could probably do it all right. But
my boys at UPL, give them a call.
No, you know what? We did have a discussion about whether we're going to use it in the regular season and stuff, but we decided because we have our SaskTel games in a month. We have 5 of those throughout the year, and we have those on Friday nights once a month. We were using the video, but we weren't reviewing goals or having any of the coaches' challenges, but we were testing kind of our system in those regular season games. We decided because it was the final, we did not want to see an overtime or an offside goal or a high stick goal or gloved in pass determine our representative for the Centennial Cup and the winner of the Canterbury Seeds Cup. So we're just using it for the finals at this point, and it's only been 2 games, Harry. I would say it's worked fairly well. We haven't had any controversy yet. Hopefully, knock on wood, we won't have any. But when you have that type of production and you have that type of expertise and the number and quality of cameras that we have, we might as well use it.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Commissioner of the SJHL, Kyle McIntyre joining us for the SJHL report for Southie Mainline Chrysler this week. Commissioner, let's talk quickly. We got about 2 minutes left here on just the NCAA Western Hockey League, how that really, when we talked to Ross Mahoney, assistant general manager of the Washington Capitals this week, Cal Filson, longtime scout last week. It's like we don't know where this is going to settle. No one really knows. Are you of that class as well?
There's so much churn with this, Barney. And I mean, this year, like normally hockey, the transfer portal, you have maybe a maximum of 200 kids. Well, this year, so many schools have decommitted the kids. Like there's probably 1,500 to 2,000 kids in this transfer portal right now. And so I think the CHL, as I've told you before, it's flavor of the month. It's going to take some time for this to settle with all this churns going on. And it's impacting everybody in different ways. And there's lots of unintended consequences that are going on, not only in hockey, but all sports. I don't know if you watch March Madness at all, and you had Gino Urema talking about how he doesn't like it and how they should just make these players sign contracts for even big programs like that. There's lots of churn. But the positive byproduct for the kids playing in the SJHL that are quality players is they're getting U Sport rides. And so our U Sport numbers have probably doubled what they were last year. So normally it's probably about 14 or 15 Division I, Division III, U Sport and ACAC, but our U Sport numbers are really up high. And again, I think it's the best kept secret. Like I think the U Sport is like the CFL. I don't think they do enough to promote the leagues on social media or the players or the teams themselves. And the thing that I would like about it, if my kid was playing Canadian University, they offer lots of money for these kids to play. So it's financially attractive. It's the Canadian dollars. You're able to get to most of these universities. You probably know kids or players or families that have been in these programs. And so I think it's a good thing. And again, my whole thought is if one door closes, another door opens. And if you're a quality player, regardless of where you're playing, you're going to get opportunities. And people have to do their homework. They have to find out where their kid's going to be in the lineup, what he's got to do during the ice time, how freshmen are treated, what's the stability of the program, is there on-ice, off-ice development, how do they balance the academics? Because it's tough being a student athlete.
Yeah, and what courses, right? You got to start thinking about what you're going to do with your life. Like you're going to hand out balls at the Cosmo Civic Center, or do you want to go be an engineer? Or do what are you going to do? And that's where, I think the kids and what I'm hearing too, the CIS rides, that's awesome, or whatever they call it, U Sport now. Well, Mac, the big question to leave you with: are the courses open in Swift Current yet?
I live right across the street from Elwood, Barney, and the greens look absolutely impeccable. It is snowing today. They're super green. We don't have the bridges in on the back nine yet, but the rumor is if it gets warm on the weekend, it's going to be open on the weekend.
Well,
the landing is open.
They take the bridges in and out?
Well, hey, we got a river going through Swift Current, if you don't remember.
Oh.
And that thing can get quite high in the spring. Like, it can flood quite easily.
Yeah.
Like, we've had a couple springs where they've had the sandbag all along the river, all through the city. So
I thought maybe because there's like a big riffraff problem. The bridge stealers are into
people living under the bridge, just like the Broadway and University Bridge.
Shout out West Side. Let's go. All right, Mac. Always a pleasure. I might see you tomorrow in Weyburn.
Okay, you should. It's going to be worth the drive. And if you're not able to make Weyburn, tune into SaskTel Max or on demand, and you will see the legendary Ward Edwards, Weyburn Red Wing alumni, 1984 Centennial Cup winner, on one of the intermissions.
Oh, there we go. What a tease.
East Sider, another East Side guy.
What a tease. All right. Okay, see you, Mac.
Okay, thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Mac.